Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 9, Chapter 27. The True Timetable. Caught in the coils of the created, man is blind to the fact that he is part of the divine creator. Identifying himself with the physical sheath in which he is encased, he is blind to the unity of all beings in the one universal absolute. Man has written and studied countless texts on spiritual discipline and discovery, and confounded the confusion, indulging in dialectical rivalries and argumentation. But he who has put at least a page or two of these tomes into practice is rendered silent, innocent of any desire for fame or victory. He is happy in the depths of his true being. He ploughs the inner field, sows the seeds of love, and the plants yield the flowers of fortitude, which fructify as shanti, equanimity. This is the message of the rishis of this land. Each human being has 3 errors to correct: mal, dirt, filth; vikshepa, distraction; and avarna, concealing, covering. Mal is the basic ajnana, ignorance, which makes the 10th man, who counts the other 9 and does not know that he is the 10th, declare that there is no 10th man. This ajnana or mal is the miasma that causes the declaration, avarna. Vikshepa is the effect of that ignorance, which makes all the 10 search in the river for the lost man. Mal is the consequence of karma, in this and in previous lives. This can be removed by nishkama karma, activity with no attachment to the consequent benefit or loss. The avarna effect can be overcome by the cultivation of sahana, tolerance, and anyonyata, feeling of belonging to one another. If only the 10 were bound together by mutual solidarity, no one would have been taken as missing. So too, vikshepa can be conquered by prema, love. Love would have revealed each to the other, and no one would have been missed. This is the way to equip yourself with Ananda, bliss supreme, the way of love, dedication, and service. Never use expression which sear and hurt. There are some other things you can do to lead you to the consummation. For example, adhere strictly to truth. Mana satyena shuddhya. The mind is cleansed by truth. Truth is the great purifier. It admits no dirt or sin, no defect or deceit. Falsehood pollutes the tongue of the speaker, the ear of the listener, and the air which carries it from tongue to tympanum. There are beneficent and maleficent sounds, and they produce corresponding echoes in the atmosphere. Words that emanate from faith in God and the humility it fosters renders the atmosphere pure, while those trumpeted by vanity and excreted by nihilism and atheism will contaminate it. Use only such sounds as will cleanse the air. Do not be harsh. Never use expressions which sear and hurt, which are the evil progeny of hate and pride. Praise the Lord, recite His glory. That is the duty you owe yourself and others. The raison d'être, or the main reason for this yaga, is just this. Every sound of the Veda is in praise of God. And when the Veda is recited with the proper cadence, exactly as prescribed in the traditional schools, the atmosphere will certainly undergo a remarkable transformation, and the men who breathe it will be a little less evil thereafter. and the men who breathe it will be a little less evil thereafter. It will instill faith in themselves and in others, and the world will be a happier place thereby. The Americans might walk on the moon, or the Russians might picnic on the planet Mars, but they have both to return to Earth, which is their common home. You know from the Ramayana that the severed head of Rama was once presented before Sita to make her give up all hope of meeting him again. The Rakshasas, demons, displayed before Rama in the same manner the severed head of Sita in the hope of making him give up all hope of recovering her alive. Both these heads were dummies prepared to deceive. They were not genuine. So too, one can claim genuine victory only when one has reached not the dead satellite, but the living star, not the Chandra, moon, but the Ramachandra, the Lord who rules over the inner satellites, the inner planets, the inner motives and agitations, the real timetable of activities for man. When one's inner reactions and agitations are transmuted into divine, all that one experiences through the senses, the mind and the intellect take on the divine lustre, reveal their divine core, and man is shaped in the mold of love. One can be in the world, but yet unaffected by it, provided this vision is gained. All activity will then be for the Almighty, by His grace and through His will. Do not get work done through cooks, servants, and others in the home. Women must not depend on them for the care of their children or for the attendance on their husbands. Earning leisure for dhyana, meditation, through these servants is not a spiritual gain. Do all the household work as acts of worship for Him. That is more fruitful than hours of dhyana, hours gained by entrusting this precious work to paid helpers. Men too must feel that frittering away precious time, flitting from one vanity to another and seeking more and more purposeless means of spending days and nights, is detrimental to the main aim of life. Spread joy, give strength, distribute courage, console the distressed. Help the lame to walk and the blind to see. That is the real timetable of activities of man. India has been reduced into a beggar nation, since her children gave up these ideals and enthroned the ego as the only God to be worshipped. We are having here another All India Conference of the office bearers of the Sathya Sai organizations, so that these workers can once again remind themselves of this message. When the Petromax lamps become dim, we pump air in it, and they become brighter. These lamps tend to burn dim, and so we call them to this place for satsang, and pump inspiration and instruction into them. Their batteries get recharged for further service. India has always stood forth on the side of virtuous character, maintained through vigilance, in perfect trim. Without that steady, strong character, achievements like scholarship or siddhis, skills in yogic powers, are like plastic fruits, deceptive imitations incapable of yielding joy. When the mind is engaged in the recital of God's glory and the names of God, there can be no temptation to stray into the rake's highway of insane desire. Twice a day, morning and evening, if you spare some time to sing the names of God with like-minded persons, all in unison, with full awareness of the deeper significance of each name as it sweetens the tongue, it will be of considerable help to establish the feeling of the constant presence of God within you and without. Prashanti Nilayam, October 19th, 1969.